Every time that you speak a sentence, you are projecting a tiny movie directly into the listener's mind. And whether you realize it or not, you are the director. Action. When the instructions are a little off, when the words don't quite match up, that movie gets blurry. The scenes jump around, the focus is lost, and your audience can't tell what they're supposed to be looking at. To sharpen that focus, we can use two tools on your set: the camera lenses you look through and the cast of actors you place in front of them. In grammar, we call these articles and nouns. Learning where to point your camera and how to organize the people on your stage gives you a way to build sentences that feel intentional rather than accidental. Aligning these two elements ensures that the specific image you have in mind is the same one your listener actually sees. Let's start with your lenses, the short words a, an, and the. Think of a and an as your wide-angle lens. You use these when you want to show your audience any general item in a category, like an apple from a giant bowl. It doesn't matter which one, just any apple. To choose between a and an, we listen to the physical flow of the sound. If the next word starts with a smooth, open vowel sound, like an hour, we use an to keep the breath flowing. If it starts with a hard consonant sound, like a university, we use a to handle the bump. It is about making the words physically easy to say. This brings us to our second lens, the word the. This is your tight spotlight. You use it when you need the audience to look at one specific, unique thing that stands out from everything else. For example, there is only one sun in our sky, so we turn on the spotlight and say, the sun. The same logic applies to permanent landmarks. If you are talking about a specific river or an ocean, you need that spotlight. That's why we say the Ganga. It is a distinct, singular place. This spotlight effect helps with storytelling. When a new character walks onto the set for the very first time, we use our wide shot. I saw a boy. Once the audience knows exactly who he is, we switch out our lens and turn on the spotlight. The boy was reading a book. Finally, there are times you leave the lens cap on completely. This happens with broad, untouchable concepts like spoken languages or general meals. We don't say the English or a dinner. We just say he knows English and we had dinner. These articles are visual directions. They tell your listener's brain whether to look at the big picture or focus on a single vital detail. Now that the camera is set, we need to direct the actors on stage. These are your nouns. The choreography is simple matching. A solo actor performs a solo routine, taking a singular verb. A group of actors performs a group routine, taking a plural verb. But every director eventually has to deal with tricky actors, words that look like a solo act but behave like a group, or vice versa. Take words like scissors or trousers. Even though you hold a single item in your hand, these actors work as permanent duos, so they always require a plural routine. The scissors are on the desk. On the flip side, you have collective concepts like news or furniture. A room full of chairs and tables looks like a crowd, but grammatically it acts as a single unified block, which means it gets a solo routine. The furniture is heavy, and the news is good. This brings us to a common source of confusion, the one of the setup. This is when you have a phrase like one of the boys. Do you use the plural action for the group of boys or the singular action for one? Think about the physical stage. Yes, there is a whole group of actors standing up there. But as the director, you are only pointing your camera's spotlight at one specific individual in that crowd. The action must match the actual star standing in the spotlight, not the extras waiting in the dark. So we say, one of the boys is singing. One star, one solo routine. Identifying the true star of the sentence keeps the action in sync, so your audience can focus on the message rather than being distracted by the mechanics. Let's put both of these tools together on the set. Imagine the sentence, the news is good. We start with the, turning on our tight spotlight lens. We point it at news, a concept that acts like a single block. And because it's a solo act, we give it the matching singular choreography, is. Grammar is about making sure the movie playing in your head matches the movie playing in the listener's head. The next time you read a sentence, try to look at the words as directional cues. See if you can spot where the writer uses their wide shots and where they decide to turn on the spotlight. By paying attention to these small details, you move past just reciting words. You take the director's chair.